Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stream. Yes, we are live from Project Rubi-ka. Yes, and you probably noticed we're live on the Twitch and on the YouTube simultaneously. Thankfully, I have a 3-monitor setup, so I can read the chat on all of them. Just waiting on stuff. Oh, looks like somebody is here. Well, they were 20 minutes ago. Let's go to the live screen. There we are. Facebook isn't working for some reason. Create post. Try reloading Facebook. Oh, look. Worked straight away. Post. Share to groups. Share to the new moderated Anarchy Online Facebook group, because the other one, I post streams on it, and the admin never allows the post. Slightly sus. I don't know, maybe they got spammed or something a lot. Maybe they think I'm spam, I don't know. Anyway, not to worry. So it's that one. And then we'll do the Discord as well. Ooh. We got both. Pink Goggles, no clue. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Not getting my heels in here. There we go. Going to be quite close, however. So maybe run away. Seeing as they're on the shorter tether. There we go. Avoid the fight temporarily. This is the way. No, nothing on that one. And we will re-heal, I think, is the way to go. There we are. Anyway, it's Sunday. It's my Saturday. I am having a beer. Yes, indeed. Need bigger coils. So we are doing well. We need a circlet and a sleeve, and we're there. And I have a pair of pants to swap. Someone donated pants yesterday, and as soon as I came back and did one more kill, I got pants. It's just weird. Matt Cannibal, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Straight back into the farmage. We haven't got much left to get now, so hopefully we can get it. Oh, I've used all my first aid stims. Oops. I must have to buy more soon. Hopefully that won't be too big a problem. And we got through those fairly rapidly. would say. Interesting. That one has 3 minutes left on it. And the other one has 23. That makes more sense. So someone's just killed those. Never mind. Right. Okay. Let's hurry back. Get some more first aids. Ace, welcome. To the prey. Well, not once they're grey. Otherwise, yes. They aggro the shit out of you. If they were still green, they would be aggroing. We're just in that sweet spot where loot from the named Preds is worth it, and the ads are mostly grey, so they don't aggro. So yes, if they were green, they would all be aggroing me. Definitely where previous... Do you mind? And definitely where before. But now we just got enough of a level that they're grey, so they just ignore us. Right. Do some shopping. So if we give ourselves, I think have we not got the treatment general buff? Which means we've only got, what first aid have we got? Ooh, 242. Not much. Nano. Spirit aid. Quality. Can we do 30s? Yes, we could. Can we do quality 40? Yes. Can we do quality 50? 228. Yes, we can do quality 50. There we go. Just double check they work before we set off. Indeed they do. Excuse me. We could nip to the other side, but Fallen Forest would be the nearest exit, I guess. Kronos Canyon, slightly further. Yeah, Fallen Forest. Which I think is this way. Oh, are they up there? They're up there. That's where they're at, I think. Fallen Forest and south, yeah. So, how's everyone's weekend kind of been? Short. Oh. Did you? Is your weekend like mine? You have to work part of it, therefore you don't get as much of a weekend as you should. Yeah, there you go. I basically don't get a conventional weekend. I start work at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning, finish it in the afternoon. So I can't really do a late one on a Friday night. And having gotten up early, I generally don't really want to party that hard on a Saturday night. So yeah, it's kind of, they got you coming and a going, you know. Where am I going? No, I'm going the wrong way. I want to go down here. I work 5 a.m. to 4:30 Monday, Friday, but Saturday it's 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Yeah, that's the killer. So everyone go, oh yeah, but you finished at 11. Yeah, but you know, then you go for lunch and then you have a nap and then the evening rolls around and you're like, I'm just too tired to be going out. I think all these have greyed out as well. It's kind of cool. I think all these have been camped as well, looking at it. Yes, there is a level 130 EMF here. Never mind. Leave him to it. We'll go back to the other Preds. Yeah, it's quite interesting armor, given it has two stat requirements: title level 3 and 300 cents. So you could make a little bit of a twink with that. Title level 3 is like what, level 50? An op effects with that much sense is not out the realms of possibility. So you could build a fairly cool temple shade if you wanted to. On PRK I'm talking. Live, yeah, you would probably do combined mercenaries and yada yada yada. Well, there ain't no alien armor here, son. You gotta hoof it and make it work. Ghostmaster, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I got the aggro music and then it was gone. Mob gave up, yo. It's a shame these mobs are as camped as heavily as they are, but given only 8 mobs in the entire game drop this armor, that's always gonna happen. If people want the armor. It's a given, basically. Still not spawned. Oh, someone's just killed them again. There's someone killing them, but then disappearing. I don't get it. Is it the EMF? Is the EMF running from one end to the other? Usually when someone's camping these mobs, you know, they're here. There's no one here. 14 minutes on that guy. 15 on that one. I'm curious now. About 5 minutes for the respawn here. Maybe they're logging 2 different tunes in 2 different slots. I'm not sure. We got the 2 of them again. Nothing on that dude. Where's the little dude? Come over here. There you go. Now you'll be easier to loot. Come on, little buddy. Nope. Minutes and 14 minutes. It's 2 minutes between them. X10 Scion, welcome to the stream. Muddy Zen on the YouTube. I don't know why, but when Shadowlands came out, it made me feel very lonely. Yeah, people were very much more spread out, I think. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but definitely part of the reason, I think. Not even at high AR at the minute, because I can't cast the higher buff. I'm short. On nano skills. Should I blow one of the Wrangler buffs? I don't know. Maybe. Gonna kill these two. I'm getting a beer. Luna TX, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I've started playing on the server after seeing you live like a week ago. Well, welcome to Project Rubi-ka, dude. Been loving it. Glad to hear it. It does feel more AO as your nostalgia goggles remember it, doesn't it? Is it just me? It's not just me, is it? It does feel more nostalgia goggles. The difficulty in Shadowlands. Oh God, I've got to use fucking coils. And, I need an advi for a map. And there's no dailies, so everyone's out in the world leveling or doing missions. Teaming to level. Let's go! Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You know, AO as intended. That's how it feels to me. Now, I'm an old fart who's been playing for quarter of a century. My God, 25 years. But yeah, it just does feel more AO somehow. And I think that's always been the intention, you know. Every day, new players join on the Discord. Yes, they do. Well, I think the word's getting out now. I think I, in some small way, have played a part in that. But, you know, snowballs gather their own snow. It's not just me. People start talking about it. Probably that alone has, excuse me, brought more people. For sure, I've had an impact, but I don't overestimate it. Right, I'm gonna stop about here, kind of out of harm's way, whilst I go on a quest for another beer. Can anyone join? Yes, if they're willing to follow the rules of the server. They can also join and remain. If there were none others like yourself doing this, this would have been 6 foot under a decade ago. No! No. No. The PRK team have been doing this like 6+ years before I did anything. It's not me. It's them building the server and everything else. It's not me. GST. Beer. Yes, beer. Look at my little script in chat. What? Oh, using the MooBot command. Do you know what I haven't done? What I hasn't done, and I hasn't crashed yet either, is this. My own bloody thing. There you go. Done it now. Oh, in game. No, I missed it. Let me scroll. Where now? Ghosty. Cannot get to. Okay. Streamer of PRK. Thank you very big. YouTube. And indeed, it opens the channel. Yeah. Thing with YouTube, every time you stream, it's a new HTML address versus HTML address versus Twitch, it's always the same one, but on YouTube it's not. Every time it gives it a unique character string. It's PRK doing resets. Yes, occasionally. But resets only happen when they need to. Gen X mentality. Now, well, it's not just anime enough, I think. What? There is a definite Gen X thing, yeah. And Gen X are a different breed. We are a different breed, I think. Might get my friend over to it. We usually duo. Oh, that would be ideal, yeah. Because it's based on the 18.4 iteration of the game, so a lot of the buffs and things you can do, daily missions, yada yada, none of that is a thing on the server. So you've got to work, you know, you've got to colour between the lines. 52, feeling it. I'm 57, mate. Tell me about it. I got Silent Dagger on there twice for some reason. Pissing Gash. Psycho Mod 531, Sense Imp 491. Doe. Yeah, I can't actually... I can't IP any more into it. Oh well. To cast that, but I mean, I could blow a wrangle thing, but I kind of want to save that for wrangles and just, you know, getting infuses. I'm older than you by a year, I'm guessing. Ghostmaster 1968. Yeah, I'm January 1969. 6th of January. I have the same birthday as, oh God, what's his name? As an actor, he's my birthday twin. He's in Death Stranding, he was in Walking Dead, and for the life of me, I cannot now remember his name. Into bikes, did the bike series with Keanu Reeves. Yeah, Norman Reedus, we're birthday twins, yeah. Norman Reedus. Born 6th of Jan 1969. Birthday twin. Wow, he looks way less old than me. But I have the superior beard. There endeth the competition. In every other way. He's looking better than I am. except for the fucking... except for the beard. Oh well. Cheers for the in real life ding. What is your birthday today? It's your birthday today, so you're like 5 months older than me. Oh well, happy birthday, Ghost. Everybody, happy birthday to Ghost. Happy birthday to Ghost. Happy birthday to Ghost. Happy birthday, dear Ghostmaster 1968. Happy birthday to you. SPNDNB, however you pronounce that. Redeem check posture. Okay. Yes, nicely stretched and everything else. You're July 74. Yeah, so you hear Danger Zone. Your head is in a jet fighter. You hear Footloose. You're the city boy moved to a small town that don't allow no dancing. and someone says, "Great Scott, you're going back to the future." There we go. You are Gen X. And don't feed them after midnight. We're that generation. We didn't have a fucking Furby. We had a murder death cult little lizard thing that looks furry, but you feed it after midnight. They're going to take over your town, damn it. A bunch of lean Yodas looking to take over. Ghostmaster gifted 10 subs. My God, man. It's your birthday. We should be giving you the gifts, but thank you very big anyway. Ghostmaster gifted a tier 1 sub to the Nox General, to My Bosk, to SPN, to It's Twistex, to Aranex, to Dave 3 of 5, Desrek, 81, to Ixie Ace, to Only 06, and a tier 1 sub to Luna TX Manning. No, beers to you. Thank you very big. And remember, if you've received a gifted sub, please remember to thank the person that gifted it to you. Someone's got money. Well, it ain't me. I do okay. Ghostmaster Omnitech is your friend. Or else. I remember his bit part in the movie Pandarum, and also the stoner mech in Blade. Yeah, he was in Blade too, wasn't he? Yeah. The most profound things I think I've seen him do are actually in Death Stranding. But that's Kojima. He's a movie maker who makes movies in video games. If you've played Death Stranding 1 and 2, you'll know what I mean. My God, does he hammer home what he wants you to feel and see. It's brutal, almost, but it's such a beautiful thing as well. So, yeah. Yeah, Kojima, when I saw the Death Stranding thing, it got a lot of traction on the YouTube PC enthusiast channels because it had upscaling for the first time. And even Gamers Nexus, which is a hypercritical show generally, quite has a lot of integrity. They did a review and said, actually, this new DLSS they've done, its implementation in this game, there's a higher level of detail when using it than when using native resolution. They couldn't quite get over that. If you go back and look at the old videos of it, that's the case. And then it turned up on, I don't know, Steam sale. And I thought, I've always wondered what the hell is that game anyway. Everyone said it's a walking simulator. It's boring. No, it's a story game. Yes, it's got walking in it. Name a third or first person game that doesn't have walking in it. But that's only... That's like saying, oh, Cyberpunk's the same as GTA 4 because they've got cars in it. No, they're wholly different games. Massively different games. You really can't compare. There's apples and oranges to compare them. And Death Stranding is an experience. It's basically interactive cinema at its finest. Yeah, I got it for £5 and I was like, I can't believe how good this is. The story and everything else, this is amazing. You know, how it makes you feel playing it, the depth of the characters and whatnot, it's just like, wow. More pants! But we need sleeve. I'm going to have to do trades with people, I think, to get the full set completely. Otherwise, I'm going to wind up with a bunch of pieces I don't need. This is nuts. Is there anyone in the chat on YouTube or on Twitch that would like a pair of Predator pants that has another armband and or circlet? Nothing on him. I lost a girlfriend over that game, plus a little alcohol. Hey, it was way more indulgent than shit. Whoa. What, on Death Stranding? Okay. All I will say is I think human relationships are the most important ones, but, you know, yeah. Oh, I got a hype chest. Nice. Respectfully, no. Apparently, choo-choo. What? I don't, Twitch emotes are just weird. No, nothing there. That was the last one. That was the other dude. Okay. You're correct, but she costs more than £5. Well, I've been with the same lady for nearly 30 years. And I wouldn't change anything. it works the way it works, and it's comfortable. You know when you're with someone and you're just happy, comfortable, relaxed, and there's no having to do anything special to be with them. You're just with them, and you both feel. Yeah, it's just very organic and natural to be with the person I'm with. I can be 100% me, and she's good with that, you know? I am a lucky man. I am a lucky man. I don't doubt I'm a lucky man. Also, she's a lucky girl because she can do the exact same shit. She can be exactly who she is around me, and it's fine. Do I suck the belly in when she's looking? I might. I might do that. Does she know I'm doing it? For sure. Yeah, being completely comfortable around someone doesn't mean you don't make an effort when you're around that person. Balance is beauty. Yeah, kinda. Kinda. Hang on. I've had this bookmark forever. Right, back in a few... well, about a minute while I go get a beer. Yeah, if you're wondering about the article I just posted. It's literally a site called Something Awful, which are similar to The Onion back in the day. But you can see there, Tuesday, July 10th, 2001. It's you can tell it's old by the webpage layout, which, you know, I really love. And it's words with a few small screenshots. It's 3 pages long about the launch of the game. And it isn't inaccurate. Ergo, you sport the beard that destroyed Santa Claus. I would never destroy Santa Claus. It brings too much joy to the world. Are there gold farmers at every kite spot in every area with mobs on this server? No, they get banned. Privately run server. The devs are constantly present. They watch what people are doing. Someone pulls that shit, they get banned. Trying to multi-box, automate your gameplay to farm gold. Bye. From page pre, the ultimate goal of the game is to either reach level 175 or realize the ultimate goal of the game is to reach 175, therefore resulting in returning the game and cancelling your account. Yeah, the regular servers with the exploiters, the dupers, the griefers, the like plague of automation on the server with no moderation or anything else. You know, Funcom just don't even enforce their own damn rules on the server, and this is why I don't play there anymore. I just don't want to. I log in and I'm just like, 1 trillion at 1.7 trillion credits for a grace? What the actual fluff, you know? Whereas on this server, the economy's like, yeah, there's an actual economy. I have this incredibly rare thing here. There you go. 1.5 million for a light perennium container. Breaking an entry skill, and that'll give you, you know, a quality 200 perennium weapon for 1.5 million. Not trillions and tens of billions. Millions. This is 360 monitors. I had a Sony Trinitron 17-inch CRT, and I think the max resolution it did was 1164 by 700 and change. I can't remember. Is 764 or something like that? 100 and something hertz. And that was the hardest thing for me when LCD became the norm, is it only did a maximum of 60, and it felt like it was flickering in front of my eyes. I was used to monitors being way higher refresh rate than that. Looking at the article, yeah, I mean, they're JPEGs, aren't they? Peer Pressure Peter, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so, I mean, those look like cutouts from screenshots. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. I clicked on the picture and it went weird. Page 3. Yeah, clicking on the image doesn't quite work the way you would expect it to work. Yeah, whenever it opens a new page, but the image isn't on the page. So, I mean, it's 25-year-old article. Does Tara still roll? Yeah. Yeah, you can tell it's a 3:4 aspect ratio. Open image in new tab. Screenshot number 6, small JPEG. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so even when you do that, yeah. That's from there. They have a guide to posting on forums as well. And they nail the human archetypes on forums and social media generally anyway. So if you do something awful posting on forums, the confused newbie, the flamethrower clone, the computer expert, and how they post on different forums. Can end games solo the dragon? No. It's 18.4. Nobody's got Lost Eden. There's no AI even. So yeah, no, it needs a team of people. Early 2000s vibes. This article is in fact from November 15, 2000. It's still up. Counter-Strike forum. Version 1.0 runs like shit on my Athlon 800 OC to 523 with 1028 megs of Mushkin SDDR DDR RAM on a Basic Faith subscribed on YouTube. Thank you. On an 8-bit VHS 1100 motherboard, dual boot in Linux Blackhead and a beta of Whistler. I used the version 23.8 182736 alpha drivers on my NVIDIA GeForce 2 Ultra Maximum Pro, even disabled DVNCD caching and boosted the latency rating to 14.19, but it still don't work. The game is obviously defective. But that goes through all the various archetypes. The Mensa troll. You've met this guy a lot of times. Mr. Aggressive, cute girl, Davy Ravy, Ravy Davy. Sensitive artist, I know a game developer. Mr. Highly advanced forum regular with 5 million posts. Miss Dr. Conspiracy, man with a grudge, and anime obsessed freak, and a guy called Derek Smart. Yeah, I've no answers for where they came up with these people, but you keep finding them. It's nuts. Zedlub, welcome to the stream. Yeah, the medium has changed. We went from forums to chat groups and now we got Discord and social media. Because you got to remember, 2001, there was no social media till about what, 2003 or 4? We got MySpace or something. And yet every archetype is there because the archetype is basically just a reflection of the human psyche. Life was better then. Yeah, do you remember watching The Matrix? Like in 1999 or 1998, whenever it came out. And they said, oh, we created a utopia for people, and the human mind rejected it. So we created a version of your world based at the end of the 20th century where you were all happy. And we all thought, yeah, but 20 years from now, man, the world's going to be so much better. Oh, sweet summer children that we were. Who wouldn't want to go back to 1999 right now? Knowing what you know. The whole time machine thing. My life was better then. I was young. I was still young. I didn't have I had a couple of grey hairs, but not many. Like, literally count on one hand grey hairs. And they stood out because all my other hair was jet black. So, yeah. First Matrix, 1999, yeah. I think I'd go as well, except, well, yeah, no, because I'd not long since hooked up with Mrs. Kalos, so it felt like we were made out of Velcro. Oh, you're great. Oh, I love being with you too. And I had that energy. That's special. Yes, it is. I consider myself incredibly fortunate in life. I really do. I mean, you know, I played the field in my day, you know, when I was slim and good looking. But I always, as soon as I met her, it was different. It was different because I just, all I had to be was me, and it worked. Because we'd been friends for more than a year. And like platonic friends. And we had a great time together whenever we were together. And then we were doing a like college degree thing. Like I went back to university and did another degree, and she'd made the same decision, completely independently of me, to do the same thing. You know, I'd moved off, I'd been to London and all, you know, we'd both led completely separate lives, then met again in uni, even though we technically hadn't met before, but I remembered her from before. It's really weird, guys. I have told this story before, and I'm not someone that believes in fate, but maybe I do now. I don't know. So, I be me. I be Kalos with a crap guitar, terrible 80s hair. Go and do a gig with my college band. See girl behind the band. There's two different bands on that night. We're the support act. We're nowhere near as good as the main act, you know. I see, wow, she's hot, you know. Wow, I really like, I need to speak to her, go say hi. But back of my brain, Cal, the smarter version of me, says, no, dude, don't go and talk to her now. Wait till after the show, when she's seen you up on the stage and you're a rock star, then go and talk to her. Yeah. So, smarter version of me has figured that out. So I wait and we're on like song 4 out of 5 that we're doing for the opening spot, and I see girl I really want to talk to putting a coat on and leaving. She's finished working for the night. I'm like, oh damn, I can't run off stage and talk to her. That's ridiculous. So I kind of hang around and go, the girl has just gone. Does anyone know her name? What? Where she lives, and everyone's like, dude, no, I'm not giving you a number. You want to talk to her, you go find her, right? So she's the one that made the impression that I never got to talk to. And over the intervening, like, I don't know, 15 years or so, I played the field, been with a bunch of girls, had long-standing relationships, had a lot of just flings and short-term things and all the rest of it. Totally forgot about her. Kinda. And then one day, I decide, on a whim, I'm moving back to North Wales, right? So I move back to North Wales and think, what am I going to do? Well, computers are becoming the thing. I'd seen it in studios and whatnot. It was becoming the norm. And I thought, jump on the bandwagon. Go and do a degree in business IT. So I go on the induction course for the... and they accepted it. They were like, well, you've already got a degree, blah, blah, blah. Maybe in music, but obviously, you know. So I'm like, okay. We're going to do this new degree. And on the induction course, it was an induction course for the business courses. So we were, my little group of people were the business IT crowd, but we were mixed with the business admin crowd. And she was there with the business admin crowd. And I'm looking across the room thinking, damn, you know when you know someone from somewhere but you can't place them? Yeah, so there she is. And the penny dropped after about a week. I remembered, here we are, there she is. I know she's gone off, had her own life, been married, been divorced, whatever. And is living her own life now. So I just go over and say hi, and we chat, you know, and it's like a group chat. Everyone's chatting to everyone else. And in my mind, I'm like, I am fucking sure that's her. You know, but I'm still not 100% that it's her. Anyway, so we go off, we do our different courses in different lectures at different times, yada, yada, yada. But we bump into each other periodically, you know, and it becomes like an extended friend group of people. So, you know, we interact, someone has a party, you know, we're both there and blah, blah, blah. And I never make my move. I think, well, hang on a minute. I see her like 2 or 3 times a week. If something happens and it doesn't work out, this is going to be real awkward. So I'm just going to hang back. I'm just going to hang back and be a friend. And that was it. We were just friends. We were just platonic friends. And then right at the end of the course, they did do you want a work experience in the field thing? You will actually get paid real wages for it. And we were like, yeah, sure, we could do that. So we do it, and I had no idea she'd opted for it as well. You know, we both made the same decision independently from 2 different conversations that, yeah, we'll do this work experience thing. And they stick us on a double desk together as the work experience people who have already had real jobs. You know, at this point, I've been like the area supervisor for Channel 5 and stuff. I've had bigger jobs than the guys in that marketing department have ever dreamed of having. So we're sat opposite each other. We've got this thing you got to do, polling data and create graphs and stuff. That's why we've got you for the admin, you for the IT. And so we had to work together very closely for about a month. So we go off to lunch together, discuss the project, discuss how we're moving forward, next best steps, and we'd have a lot of back and forth about it, and worked together to achieve a common goal. And then one day she says, my home computer won't boot. You did the whole IT thing, and I know you used to repair TVs and stuff. Could you come and have a look at it? So I go and look at the PC. Yeah, sure, it won't boot. Open it up, and one of the RAM sticks is half out. So I pick up the hint and fix the computer. And we've been together ever since. Literally been together ever since. So cheesy. Yeah, I know. She, and I was like, you know, there was a RAM stick half stuck in. She went, I know. that we'd got to the point where, you know, like when you're with a good friend and they're like, you go, you're just pulling my pisser at this point. And they're like, I know. I know that you know. And you know that I know that you know. We're like that, you know. You're so Gen X, bro. Strong enough to go solo, therefore, when the right one turns up. If it's gonna happen, it should be great. Yeah, no, yeah, maybe. I'm not fatalistic, but then maybe fate is laughing at me saying that. Peer pressure Peter's gifting, oh my god, to all live followers 18 plus. What the hell? Peer pressure is gifted more than 73 to La Brie Tree Splitter Acid Dudge. What's the next one? 2 out of 4. Paul Bear, Jimmy Wah, Mr. Udadan, Gordon Vignette, Vin Dixon, Mysterion 23, Iterus. No, Titus, Zoran DX, Dupininiox, George Glass 87, and Stone Vigil. Thank you very much for the subs. And if you've been gifted a sub, please remember to thank the person that gifted it to you. Yeah, and it just worked. And I think in the back of our minds, we both knew if the candle blew out, okay? If the candle blew out, then the older guys will know what I'm talking about. Then there was still a really good friendship there anyway. So yeah, that's the thing. Muddy Zen, farewell for tonight, my dude. Good to talk again, and to you. You're welcome. Wootsiel. AO looks the same. Kinda does. Yeah, so like, we're like any other couple. You take most of the duvet. No, I don't. You know. We're a couple of old geezers together, getting older, but you know. I used to play an Advi on the German server, which probably doesn't exist anymore. Sadly not. The server was closed, and you had an option to jump to Rubi-ka 1 or Rubi-ka 2, I think even before they were called Atlantean and Rimmer, but I'm not sure. Oh, I need to get over to the other side. I didn't go on. Yeah, you might have to refresh your browser. Sometimes that's a thing. I don't know. If you're on Firefox, sometimes you need refresh. Chrome as well. If you're on Opera, no clue. Don't use Opera. But for most cases where it doesn't appear straight away, yeah, just F5, my dude. F5 will see you right. Use Brave. What? Stone Visual, yes. My first backyard. I was backyard 9 in Tier. Was my first backyard that I crawled out of. remember coming out of Tier Backyard and being lost for hours trying to go to every door. Yeah, you and me both. Except I stumbled into the arena and my graphic settings were so low. You know the little pink swirly jellyfish you get when you zone? They weren't there on my screen. So I went, oh, I've lagged. Oh, no, it's okay again, not knowing I'd zoned. And so a bunch of people all stood inside this square that was walled off. So I walked in and went, hey, everyone, blah, blah, blah. I've just come out the back, attacked by 4 different people and died. Welcome to Anarchy Online. This is when a level 75 could attack a level 1 player, and a level 200 or any level over 75 could attack the level 75 player. That's how it used to work, believe it or not. So they kill me, where do I go? Straight back to the fucking backyard, you know? There was no pop-up on-screen message saying, you've entered a PvP zone. With none of that. True anarchy. Oh, God, yeah, it was really kind of wild. Yeah, Tier Arena was a law unto itself. I think I've got, like, yay old screenshots from then as well. I was mucking around with Stalker 2, thinking about the new thing. The new update that's coming to that game. I probably have those pictures somewhere, but I'm not sure which folder they're in. Nope, don't know. I will dig them out for the next stream. I've got photos, you know, I've got screenshots back from the day, and you can tell because they're like 4:3 aspect ratio and all the rest of it. Yeah, that was the thing. Can't do anything in some backyards. I remember when they brought out Shadowlands and had the zones restricted. So instead of doing the tedious quests, AoE nuking on NTs. That's a thing since forever. That's been a thing since forever. Kiting mobs on Rubi-ka, though, is a little different because the tethering is different. So you can't kite 100 mobs from a big area into a small pool and kill them all for big XP gains, even if they're green, because you've just killed 60 of them in one go. They won't do that anymore. They return to spawn way quicker than they do on live. That's how they want it on PRK, so that's how it is. Anyway, excuse me, grabbing a beer. I shall be back shortly. remember running up and down the edge of the world to the brink, so to speak, as it was then. Where are we at with these guys? Let's have a look. 14, 16, yeah, okay. Kind of losing the thread of where I'm at playing the game, chatting away with you guys. Still afraid of approaching the brink. It's scary by design, I think. You are meant to fear it somewhat, and most people do. I've been Pavlov trained or whatever it... Pavlov. That rings a bell. Wait. Conditioning. Which breed of dog are you, George? It's a dog training thing, isn't it? Or am I... No. Oh, you mean... Yeah, you've been gaslit into fearing the brink. I get it now. Sorry. I'm being slow. You've been conditioned to fear. Hellhound breed. Hellhound breed. Yeah, you can always break your conditioning. Circumstance will do it for you. I've always been kind of scared of hospitals, doctors, because generally speaking, touch wood, you know, I've always kind of been healthy and not really needed to go to them. So I've always kind of been a bit wary. You know, I go to hospitals and I'm like, oh, it's full of ill people. I'll catch something. And then this happened with this injury. And my only option was get over it, son, or you're not going to use that hand again. Which was a case of, do you have any inherent bravery? Or can you find it in yourself? Because bravery is not doing scary things. It's doing things in spite of being scared of them. That's what bravery is. Unless you're doing ridiculous things for the thrill, that's something else. But doing things you are genuinely afraid of, in spite of the fear of them, is bravery. So I had to make myself find some form of bravery to go, yep, you can put me under and do stuff to my body while I'm completely defenseless. I'm just going to have to learn to trust you somehow. Otherwise, I have no other chance of ever using this hand again. I found a way. Maybe it was I was more scared of never using the hand again. Or maybe it was, you know, just accepting that that's the reality you're looking at, deal with it, or, for, you know, spend the rest of your life with one hand, effectively. But I think I made the right decision because I now have, you know, I got the use of my hand back. Thank you to the amazing doctors and surgeons and physios at Whiston Hospital who put me back together, and I've been doing my physio ever since, coaching me every step of the way, and it's just been a brilliant experience. Other than the, you know, having the injury in the first place side of it. The rest of it, you know, the recovery part and how they treat you and how they respect you and everything else, that's just been awesome. But yeah, I was shit scared of going under and a general anaesthetic. Never had one in my life. you know, but had to make a choice, because it was a choice. You can say no to the surgery, you can say no to the treatment, but it was like there's no hope that those tendons will reconnect themselves, therefore these fingers will never ever work again. Or you put your trust in us and we'll do our best to fix you, and it might not go well, but we think we can get you further ahead than where you find yourself right now. Well, that's a bit of a position to be put in. So, yeah. Yeah, the only thing different is, you may not realise this, but part of the opposable thumb is a tertiary muscle here on the side of the thumb. You know, so you can do this. So your thumb is more or less pointing the same way as your fingers, so you can do stuff. Well, I sliced through the median nerve, and the median nerve controls that one muscle. So some of that movement in the thumb isn't quite where it used to be. Also, the feeling isn't as it was, but the nerve damage takes 2, 3, 4, 5 years, even over a short distance. You know, the 8 or so inches across the palm of your hand. For the nerve to grow back. So it's a long time injury to deal with. But everything else, yeah, I can drive, I can do stuff, I can take this vape bottle now, and it's one of those push down to open, and I can open it one-handed still. Which I know people with no injury whatsoever who can't do that. So, yeah. But I'd have spent the rest of my life with just the ring finger and pinky working, and my thumb not doing much of anything. Yeah, so it is likely to continue to improve. Yeah, definitely. I saw a consultant, so they're like the higher level surgeon, back in May. And their prognosis was 0 further surgeries needed. You're probably going to regain pretty much 100% of what you had. You're incredibly lucky. And I was like, no, I've just done absolutely everything the doctors have told me to do. So when the physio says every hour do 10 of these, do 10 of those, do 20 minutes of this and do that, I didn't get bored of it. I did it every single time. Yeah, so the median nerve fires that muscle. The muscle's there. The muscle works. They do it with electrodes and it does it. I just have to be patient and wait for the nerve to reconnect to the muscle and then reteach that part of my brain to use it, you know? Abductor pulsiosus muscle. Yeah, that's it. The other two, you know, these here, the other two pairings, they work fully. So it's a weird thing. Like, if you saw me put a hairband on, you think, there's nothing wrong with that guy's hands. They work perfectly normally. And, I can pick things up precisely like this, but I don't quite get the opposition. So the thumb doesn't quite rotate in that direction as much as it should do, or did do. And if it never does, it's still way, way ahead of where I was, because the fingers have pretty much full movement again. So at the moment my thumb is semi-opposable in my right hand, but I'm very lucky in that I was semi-ambidextrous beforehand due to playing guitar. So my left hand was quite strong, could do lots of different stuff. and quite a lot of articulated stuff, and I'm slowly but surely working it all back into this hand again. Most of the strength has come back. It's only that opposability that seems to be lacking now. And that's because that muscle just ain't firing like it used to. All it does is change the that rotation of the thumb. Josh! Oh yeah, I've got like at least another year before the final prognosis is there. Also, a lot of the senses are coming back in those nerves, because you've got to remember you've got pressure sense, texture sense, you've got the hot and cold, reactive injury sense. So the hot and cold came back, and I didn't even realise. It was kind of a Joey from Friends moment when it came back. So I'm with Mrs. Kalos, and we're out of town, and we get takeaway tea and coffee, and we're walking down the road from there, and suddenly I go, oh, that's way too hot, that cup, and I lift it out my right hand with my left hand because it's too hot, and she's looking at me like, that penny's gonna drop in a minute. And I went, what? And she's grinning at me, and I went, what? She goes, it feels too hot in that hand. And I go, it feels too hot in that hand. It was like a Joey moment, right? Yeah, so she was laughing at me. You know, I make a laugh without trying. There's me making a laugh without trying to, you know. But she spotted, she realised before me, oh, so you can sense hot and cold in those fingers again that you haven't been able to do for like 6 months. You know, so it was kind of funny as well as like, yay, you know. But since the surgery, I built a greenhouse, mowed the lawn, been out with the strimmer, trimmed the hedge. I can write, I can work. Obviously, I can use a keyboard and mouse. I can type again, because typing's easy. Mostly you use the space bar with your left thumb, or I do, but maybe that comes from WASD, you know, and gaming. So when I type, you find that your right hand's doing much less than your left when you're typing, if you're typing on a QWERTY keyboard. I didn't realise this, but this is the thing, because for 8 weeks my hand was in a cast. I've got it down there somewhere. I'd have to dig it out, which isolated my fingers and everything, so I couldn't break up the stitching they'd done, which put the 4 tendons back together. So I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. I wasn't allowed to drive, wasn't allowed to do this. And, you know, trying to open a tin can of tuna or something, you know, with just one hand, with just fucking, you learn the skill of elbow and left hand, and oh my God, you know, trickier than you may think, but yeah, you get used to it. Now I can get a fresh can of tuna on a ring pull and just open it. The strength is there. My father-in-law, God bless him, who can't think in metric, bought a new chest freezer, and he said, yeah, it should fit here behind the door. He was telling me, but when you come, can you move the tumble dryer from behind that door to that corner of the kitchen and put the new tumble dryer there? You know, the company that, you know, that I bought it off, they're going to deliver it, yada yada. So this thing turns up. It's the size of a dining room table. Okay? It's like literally like that. So that's 6'1" if I put both hands out. You know, the whole, you know, the span of your arms is your height and all that. And it was literally a span of my arms. I could only touch the long sides with my chin on the top of it. It was massive. There was no way this thing was going to get tucked behind the door. It barely fit behind the door. Like, you know, it's like a rectangle. So, like, so he bought this, and his thing was, it's going to fit behind the door that way. It barely fit behind the door that way. It was just like, whoa, okay. Now, here's how I knew the strength came back. I went, okay, we're going to have to get that tumble dryer out there. You know, tumble dryers are like the washing machines. They've got that big lump of concrete in there, like 30, 40 kilos of concrete, to stop the thing bouncing around your kitchen. And I just went like that to drag it and just went, oh, I got it. Walked across the kitchen and put it back down again. And it didn't feel like a strain on this hand. So, yeah, a lot of that strength has come back, but it's only in situations where you're so preoccupied with what have you done? 2 yards long, 1 yard deep. Yeah, this thing's massive. You could put 6 bodies in there. You know, if you cut them up into 6 pieces, you know, take off the arms, the legs, the head, easy get 6 people. You get easy get 3 bodies in there, maybe 5. I'm sure he thinks a meter is about, I don't know, probably is like 2 foot or something. I'm like, no, a meter's a bit more than 3 foot. God, yeah, you know, I can think in meters and in feet and inches. I'm fine with it. Doesn't bother me. Whichever reference you use. If someone says height, I'm more naturally inclined to think in feet and inches for height than I am centimeters, but I can do both, you know. Yeah, so I said, well, didn't you look at it in the showroom or something? He said, no, I bought it online. I'm like, oh, man. That's right. Next time you want to buy something, I will take you to the showroom. Yeah, it's a meter. No, it's smaller than a yard, isn't it? But a bit big. Yeah, it's bigger than 3 foot. Yeah, if you're 200 centimeters, you are 6'6", essentially. So I haven't got a tape measure in front of me, but yeah. So I don't know what. You guys have yards. Everybody has miles. Yeah, miles make no sense either. But when you're talking speed and average fuel consumption, I want to do it in old money. You know. You know, the motoring world does miles per gallon generally, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Everywhere, you know, even in Japan or somewhere, you know. Which the old system is antiquated. Fahrenheit's the absolute worst one. But feet and inches and thousandths of an inch make perfect sense to me. Fahrenheit doesn't make much sense. Mainly because when it was an arbitrary bunch of notches on a glass tube before the tube was filled with any liquid and then vacuumed and then tested against temperatures, which is why it makes no sense. You know, centigrade I prefer for temperature. I prefer metric for temperature, but if you're into photography, you cannot avoid metric. You know, when you go and watch a movie in IMAX, it's 17 what? Millimeters. Yeah, miles and kilometers are way different. Yeah, they're way different. But the mathematics make sense, but British money used to be like that. We used to have pounds, shillings, and pence, which nobody else in the world used because it makes no sense whatsoever. But it does make you very good at mathematics. And then they decimalized the currency because it's easy to count to 10. Why? Because we've got 10 digits. Yeah, how many feet in a mile? People go, I like miles per hour. How many feet in a mile? You ask them that, they won't know. But they absolutely know how long a mile is. Fahrenheit. 0 degrees Fahrenheit cold, 100 degrees Fahrenheit hot. Not really. No. If it's 100 degrees Celsius, you're dead. No. So think about this, right? At what temperature does water freeze at ground level? 0 degrees. At what temperature does water boil at ground level? 100 degrees. So if you know the difference between a nice hot bath and that's going to burn you, and so on and so forth. Plus, centigrade ties directly into Kelvin, and Kelvin is the absolute measure of temperature. That's what all colour is measured in. When you go and buy your daylight bulbs, and they are 2,700 K or whatever, that's Kelvin, and Kelvin ties into centigrade because the increments are identical. It's just 0 Kelvin is minus 173 centigrade. That's how we measure things in science. So, yeah. Fahrenheit's bollocks. Fahrenheit's awful. I mean, just the way it is made. And you've got to remember, I'm Gen X. So when I grew up, we had Kelvin, we had centigrade, and we had Fahrenheit. And as a kid, the weather report, the pool temperature, everything was in Fahrenheit. And we got used to it. And then late 70s, it all switched to centigrade. And I, even as a kid, thought, that makes more sense. What temperature should your freezer be at? Well, if you're measuring in centigrade, minus 15 to 18 is fine. That will keep your food fresh for 12 months. What temperature does it need to be in Fahrenheit? Anybody know? Without Googling it. Negative Fahrenheit temperatures are super duper duper cold. What's the freezing point of water in centigrade? 0. What's the freezing point of water in Fahrenheit? Minus 2 Fahrenheit. Yeah. Minus 2 Fahrenheit. What's the freezing point of water in Fahrenheit? Might's no good if you're trying to preserve your food and not poison yourself. 32 Fahrenheit is freezing. Yeah, that's because they did the grading on the glass tube before they did any measuring. With centigrade, they went, well, let's come up with a scale where the freezing point of water is 0 point. You know, if you wash your dishes at 60 degrees centigrade, yeah, 212 is boiling instead of 100. It's just like, why you make it so difficult? You know? It's -5 out today. In the UK, in centigrade, means probably some ice. You'll get mist on your breath. And you should absolutely not try and defrost the car windows with anything other than, cold water. Do not use hot water because the glass will shatter. People using hot water on their freezing windshields. Yep. You know that black line with the little black dots at the edge of your windscreen is because of temperature differential. It's to help the glass not shatter with temperature range. And what do people do? They go, oh, I'm going to pour this in the middle where there's no black dots or anything else. Oh, dear me. Glass go boom. On tires too. Yeah, well, rubber does freeze. I mean, all compounds and whatever are molten at a certain point and therefore frozen at another point, and trying to move them from state 1 to state 2 too rapidly will degrade the structure because the temperature isn't universal. It's isolated. So you create a weak spot, the tire has a ton of pressure in it, pew, tire gone, you know. I used to work in a shop where they install new windshields, and you should absolutely defrost your windows with hot water, because I want overtime. Job security. Yeah, absolutely. What I do is start the car on the fob and run it for 20 minutes before I get in it. That's what I do. Anyway, I'm back in a sec. Hey. Right. How we diddling? Wounded, come to me, my pretty. I'm in Germany and they frown on warming up your car in your driveway. There are areas in Serbia and other parts that have been annexed by Russia where they never stop running their cars over winter. Otherwise, those cars are impossible to start because the oil and the diesel or petrol has actually frozen. It's so cold there. It's like if you let your car stop running and it's outdoors, that's it. You're not going to start it again till the spring. It's actually a thing. Which is nuts. But it's a thing. Right, rebuff. It's like one of the coldest places on Earth or something, but yeah. It's in a sunken valley, so all the cold air from the tops of the mountains naturally descends into the lower part. But it absolutely is one of the coldest places on Earth to live that's not in the Arctic Circle or something. Yeah, nuts. Yeah, I mean, I can remember, even as a kid, at the train station and the bus station, people working there would have a trolley with the equivalent of a barbecue running in it. So they'd have Coke, not Coca-Cola, Coke. It's a form of coal and whatnot. They'd have that in a tin trolley that they would wheel under the engine sump to warm up the oil before trying to run the engine so it could keep running. And that will become the norm again once the North Atlantic flow stops. Britain, there is nowhere in Britain that is on the same latitude as anywhere in the continental US. Alaska, yes, but everywhere below Alaska and Canada, no. They're all south. The coldest places in America are all further south than all of the UK. We should not have the warm climate that we have, but that's due to the North Atlantic flow. And as soon as that stops, we're in trouble. We have way colder winters. Yeah, I mean, there was the big freeze in 1963 in the UK where the seashore was just sheets of ice. The Thames froze. You could drive a car up and down the Thames on the frozen water. It was properly cold for a very long time. 1963. One of the coldest winters ever recorded in recent human history in the UK. We probably have had much colder ones before the North Atlantic flow was established, which is the water coming up from the equatorial regions and flowing north and south, making the air above it much warmer, therefore the climate much warmer over those regions. The Rhine froze. Yeah, big, like at the moment we've got this massive heat dome kind of deal going on. Back then it was an Arctic dome of air that just wouldn't shift. And there are a lot of factors that will affect that North Atlantic flow, which will affect most of Europe, actually. resend the message. Yeah, my own father-in-law remembers the garage he worked at, and they had the same things. They had like a steel square. Imagine the drawer out of a filing cabinet on roller skates. They had that on the end of a stick, and they put a load of coke in it. Uh-oh. I think we crashed. Never mind. Did I miss something on the Discord? Are we doing a restart? Maybe. Server restart imminent, just a reboot. Oh, I missed it, but there you go. Right, okay. That'll be why. Hopefully we get lucky, we get a respawn of the mobs. No, it isn't. It is correct. I know it is. Where I live, when I was a kid, we used to be able to count on rain from spring through summer at least once a day in small bursts. Now we get nothing. Our wells are drying up. Our aquifers are depleting. Yeah, I know. It's pretty scary. But it will swing around the other way. No, it will swing the other way. That's the only way it can go. Because the desalinization of the ocean will interrupt those currents. So things get colder and wetter. It's a thing. I have been to Frankfurt. I went to the Music Messe in Frankfurt. We went from Gatwick to Frankfurt Airport, and we got to the hotel in 10 minutes on a coach, and then going from the hotel to the Music Messe took about 15 minutes every day. The road structure is just modern. It was all rebuilt after the unfortunate events of the Second World War. But like London and cities in the UK are based on, people walking, the occasional horse and cart. So the road system's awful. But in Germany, they went, well, if we're going to have to rebuild everything, let's rebuild it that accommodates vehicles, And it was the most smoothly run thing I'd ever seen in my life. All swings around. There's a pool of desalinized and highly dense water at the bottom of the North Pole, sat in a big well, like a big wok. Imagine it, enormous wok, hundreds of miles across, where this water is, and it's filling. Eventually, it will empty. When it does, it will add to desalinization. Once that happens, that flow will start to break down and the temperatures plummet across Europe. Yeah, they can't have a full load. They'll be too low in the water and they'll ground. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, people go, oh, weather schmether. No. Weather, fucking hell, is serious. You don't realize how fragile the human race's food security is and how dependent upon weather it is, you know. Yeah, we're fine, we can just import food. Yeah, but if only 3 places in the world can still produce food, guess what? The price goes up. Can you afford it? Maybe you can't, you know. It's an everybody problem. We've become so accustomed to things like we can have, you know, this various fruit, veg, and other produce in the shops 24/7, 365 days a year. The only reason it's there is it can be grown in different regions and shipped to you, you know. Yeah, well, the state-issued nutritional loaves, that is not as strange as it might sound. You got to remember, the UK and lots of places in Europe, not in my personal lifetime, but in the lifetime of my father and my father's father, went through rationing, where you were only allowed to buy X amount of stuff a week in order to preserve the population. Rationing was a reality that people lived with for like 20 years. And 20 years after the end of World War II. Germany was liberated from the Nazis, but the rest of Europe and most of the world was in disarray, you know. The other reason fat people don't... Well, the obesity rates in Europe are about 24%-ish. Someone Google it, it's probably higher now I've said it, versus the US. And the main reason is the removal of food standards in the US by lobbyists that just want to make more money. So they said, oh, sugar's bad for you. Let's pull sugar out of everything. Everybody said, it tastes like shit. And they put corn syrup in instead because technically that's not sugar. No, it's fucking worse than sugar. So everything in America to the palate of everyone else in the world tastes incredibly sweet. Even the bread tastes like cake to us. It's like, well, it's supposed to be bread. Why does it taste of cake? Why can't I spread butter on it? This stuff just falls apart. It's fucking sponge cake. And it has become the norm in the US. I don't think it's America. Is it really 74%? Jesus. Well, the health insurance companies are wringing their hands in glee for all the diabetes and other related diseases to obesity. Yeah. When I was a kid in school, there was maybe one fat kid in the whole school when I was a kid. Now, I'm old, so I was a kid back in the 70s. But when I was a kid in the 70s, someone being fat was unusual, you know. It was as regular to see as perhaps someone today using a wheelchair. You'd go, oh, you know, out of 100 people I've seen today, there is a person that uses a wheelchair. And the language has changed as well, because back then they went, oh, they're stuck in a wheelchair, versus acknowledging there's a person there today, where we say there's a person that uses one to get around. Back then it was like they're stuck in one. They were less than the chair, you know. That was the common parlance. That was the language then, and it was wrong to, you know, disavow and not acknowledge the person that finds himself in one, you know. Which is weird. Yeah, but corn syrup in the UK has never been a thing, and thankfully our food standards are still quite high. What you will, I think most of Americans find is when they go to Europe, they feel uncomfortable. Not every American, no, I'm speaking in general terms, but to the Europeans, they're grossly overweight, whereas in America, they're average. But in Europe, they're like, dude, eat less or something. It's weird. It is absolutely weird that it's become the norm for people to look the way they do due to this massive calorie intake that you don't need, you know. Says man drinking beer, which is a massive calorie intake, you know. Yeah, there's exercise you do versus the food you eat. But the poor people in America, they can exercise every goddamn day, and the food they can buy in that country is so full of sugars that they're grossly overfilled with useless sugars that do them no good. And so they, you know, they go to the gym every day and they do this every day. You know, it's wrong. They've got to work so damn hard. Whereas if food just was made like regular food, as it is in Europe and other places, it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, you can be obese and starving. So your body can be missing vitamins and irons and iodine and fucking everything else. And yet you can still be overweight because the calories are so high, you know. We were taught breakfast is the most important meal of the day. No, the cereal makers, Kellogg taught, you know, Dr. Kellogg taught people that. Do you know how cornflakes were invented, and do you know what they were invented for? Historically, they were invented as a filler for bed sheets so that young monks and others and nuns could be caught messing around, inverted commas, in their beds because it was audible. That's what it was invented for and used for. And then someone had the bright idea of, but if you put it in a bowl of milk and coat it in sugar, it's breakfast and it's the most important meal of the day. Kellogg is why American men are circumcised as well. Is that true? Oh my God. Guy has got a real rod up his arse. Yeah, I'm uncut. That's all I can tell you. Makes sense, I suppose, in certain circumstances, but, you know, the fact I have access to washing facilities means it's really not medically or any other way hygienically necessary, you know. It was just a Jewish thing. It was more prominent in the Jewish faith, but no, it's a bigger thing than just that. It's a bigger thing than just that faith. It's weird. Yeah, no, it was. So if you're trying to have a Jimmy thing, Automod has used private blocked items. Muslim is, you can't use that word. Why the fuck not? Well, I just allowed it, so. Yeah, I don't know, mate. Maybe because people follow the word Muslim with derogatory terms. I wouldn't, you know. Seventh-day Adventist or something. Yeah, so the flakes themselves were invented and put in pillows and mattresses of, you know, wannabe monks and nuns. So if they were fiddling about, he said politely, everyone would know. That's what they were for. They weren't considered a food. Kellogg comes along. Suddenly it's breakfast. Do you know what my breakfast is? Cheese on toast. Fried eggs or poached eggs, bit of meat, something else on toast. That's my breakfast. Porridge. That's a breakfast. That gives you a load of good quality, complex carbs every morning. Give your body something to burn fuel on. Yeah, I skip breakfast, I feel fine. Yeah, exactly. As long as you get the necessary calories and vitamins and everything else you need during the course of 24 hours and get a decent amount of sleep, you're good. You know. I don't wake up hungry. Usually I wake up, feel nothing in terms of appetite. Do the usual shower, shit, shave. But usually shit, then shower. Because that's the smart way to do it, right? And then not long after I've had a crap, then I feel hungry. So I eat something, and that's it. I don't eat again till lunchtime. You know, and then I have an afternoon meal, and then late on in the day, I have, 100 years, 40 years ago, it was rare. In the UK, a fat person was like an oddity. You went to a nightclub, you'd see maybe one fat person, male or female, in the entire club of like 200 people. You went to school, in the entire school there was maybe one person, male or female, that was fat. That was it. Nobody else was. Everyone else was quite slim. Backing away. Are they still following? I'm not sure. No, they're not. Okay. Oh, it's 3 and 4 Americans, yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she is a big girl, but she has always been a big girl. You know. Triple G bra, you know, kind of girl. Gorgeous looking. Any man would be glad. You know, love her to bits. Biggest heart in the world. And she said she loves going on holiday in America. Straight up, this is what she said. Because I feel skinny over there. More cushion for the pushing. Oh yeah, she's strong and agile, and beneath that benign appearance of rotundity. But yeah, she even said herself, that she likes going on holiday in America because she feels slim in America. In the UK, she doesn't. She feels like, oh God, I'm the big girl. It's kind of crazy because she's gorgeous. I've got to say, she is gorgeous. You would not care. Call yourself a man. Get in there. Yes. Food is now way too abundant. People snack between meals. The frequency is the main reason people have diabetes. It's like no. You can eat as much as you want as long as you exercise in equivalency. So you can eat 10 Mars bars in a day. That's fine. If you're running 5k a day, you're going to be, it balances out. The difference is people now have sedentary jobs and they have a diet of a land worker. So you're eating the food that someone that plows the land by hand or whatever, you're eating the amount of food a manual labor or a manual laborer would normally eat in order to fuel themselves every day. But then your job is being sat down at a desk. That's the issue. Yeah, but I live in North Wales. If you want to go anywhere, you drive there and there's nowhere to park, so generally you just fucking walk. Everywhere is either uphill or downhill. We're all mountains here. Yeah, too much sugars. Yeah, and American food has so much corn syrup in it. It's inedible to me. It's like, I don't even like sweet tasting things. I don't like sugar. I'm not keen on cake. I'm just that sort of person that when they taste that sweet taste, I don't like it. Yeah, but America's huge. People forget how big America is. So of course there's no walking anywhere because the next town's 30 miles away. You're not going to walk 30 miles there, 30 miles back to go to one shop. No, it's sweet, bitter, and salt are how your tongue works. The rest is your nose. So there's bitter, sweet, and salt. They're the main taste buds you have. Everything else is to do with your sense of smell. So the subtlety between A and B and X and Y, or whatever, is that. Right, well, I think we have gotten to the point where we have farmed the farmage out of the farming. Yep, but I like a salted butter, not gonna lie. I do like a salted butter. But I don't eat a lot of butter, If you think of a square of butter that you get, that probably lasts 2 weeks for me, making every sandwich, jacket potato, whatever. So it's not like I'm eating a lot of it. I don't have sugar in anything except involuntarily through drinking beer, but beer is beer. I don't eat anything with corn syrup in it. Not because I'm anti-corn syrup. No, I don't like the taste of sweet. It's unpleasant to me. I also don't like coffee. I think it smells terrible, and I think it tastes worse. That's me personally. There's a gazillion other people that outnumber me that think coffee's great, including Mrs. Callos, which is why I spent 800 quid on a coffee machine for her. You know, so you can put the beans in, it grinds them, and then you get the thing, and she does the tamping down, and then does this thing, and then puts it on the machine. It goes, yeah, it all comes out, and then she fills it with milk, and then there's a steamer thing. It makes the best coffee ever. Soda, don't drink any. Don't like any form of pop at all. Don't like Coke, don't like Dr. Pepper. Do you know what Dr. Pepper tastes like to me? Is in the UK we had sweets that were called refreshers. I'll try and show you. Hang on. Refreshers. Yeah, there you go. So these fizzy tasting sweets, so they had bicarbonate of soda and other stuff in them. Refreshers. These it tastes like someone's bought lemonade and then emptied a pack of them into it. That's what Dr. Pepper's tastes like to me. It's like, what the fuck is this? It's horrible to me. You know. Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's hang on. I'll try and find it. It looks like that. So you got the bean thing, and the apparently it's on a deal now. Now it's down to £600. Yeah, it does that. Kind of looks like that thing. And I bought that, and I can't stand the taste or smell of coffee. It came with all this shit. You can do all this stuff with it. Yep, it does that thing and the other thing. Still don't like coffee. I still do not like coffee. That, you know, as they say, there's no accounting for taste. If you like coffee, good for you. Can't stand it. It's horrible. Can't understand anyone enjoying it. My palate says, you know, it's like you're sick in your mouth kind of reaction. Coffee only tastes good with cream and sugar. So, without adding something to coffee, it basically tastes shit, is what that says to me. It doesn't. If you like coffee, you like coffee. I'm not, you know, Mrs. Callos loves her coffee. I make her coffee every day, and I hand her a coffee every morning and wait until she's had it before I speak to her. You know, this is a probably some marriage advice for some guys, but yeah, if your wife drinks coffee, make that coffee the second she's up and put it in front of her. Wait until that coffee's gone before you say a feckin' word to them about anything. Oh dear. There's coffee mugs that are thermally designed, so as you drain the hot liquid out of them, it says, when it's full of hot liquid, it says, don't speak. And about halfway down, it says, soon. And then when you get to the bottom and the mug has cooled down because the liquid's gone from it, it says, okay, you can speak to me now. And I bought her one. Anyway, Right. Love all you guys. I don't know. Is anyone streaming Anarchy but me? Is it just me again? Am I all alone by myself? Let's have a look. We'll search the Anarchy on Twitch. There we go. Oh, it's just me again. Oh, never mind. Oh, Lost is streaming. Lost is fun. I like Lost. I have adopted her. I'm sorry. She's spoken for. She's my adoptive daughter. And she's a lot of fun. I wish I was 30 years younger or something and single. I would approach her. But as things stand, not a chance. No. I see her as like adoptive daughter. You know, it's one of them. What can I say? Anyway, yeah, she's very vocal. She's very funny. I really like her. So I'm going to force everyone else to like her as well. So I'm going to go. I'll be back tomorrow, I think. So until then, love you all. See you on the next one. Thank you massively for the subs and the gifted subs and the resubs, the bits, and the banter. And I'll see you on the next one. Until then, bye for now.
That's all right.
Go for the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes!